Hello, everybody. I hope you had a happy holiday, or at the very least, a nice break from the charts. Not much had happened. It has been very, very dull, right, in terms of price action. As a matter of fact, today is the first real bit of volatility that we have seen in quite some time, and even what we saw today really wasn't overly exciting, right? So we do have the yearly close coming up, and this week, and then the first week of January, the FOMC minutes are coming out. We also have unemployment data and a couple other ones too. I just know that there will likely be more volatility next week. So that is something to keep in mind. And hopefully this week will give us some degree of a good entry to prepare for what could happen next week. Okay. So we'll take a look here. We were following a triangle. Let's just see if I can. Where is that here? We were following this triangle here, right? And we have since, it came to its end. We broke up above, cut through, and so ultimately, now we're looking at more something like this rather than the tighter triangle. We did get a move down, but we did not take out this low. In my opinion, I don't think that we're going to get a move up from this zone. I would at the very least like to take out this low, preferably even get down to this one. But at the very least, to come down, touch this trend line, take out that low, and then at that point, then we can evaluate whether or not we would see then a move to the upside, or if instead we would have continuation down. So you can see I have a handful of areas marked out on the chart, areas of interest for me personally. I'm just going to get rid of this here. There's this like scenario that I was kind of looking at if we got this move up, and we didn't, right? We didn't get this move to the upside. Instead, we just simply have fallen. We're still technically kind of in this range, right? We haven't even broken down out of it yet. But what I thought would be a really interesting move is to get a move down to sort of this zone here. It's a zone of interest for me for some degree of a bounce. Get, a move up and then cut down to the bottom of the range, right? About 15,800-ish, give or take. Get people very, very bearish where we're looking lower. They short here, right? We trap some shorts in this zone. And then we, see some degree of a move up, at the very least, back to the midline, around 16,800. And then from there, we can just reevaluate, right? So I still like something of this plan to play out. That said, how it's going to happen, one, like I said, kind of one of a couple things could happen here. We get the move down, we take out both of these lows here. We slowly come up, and then we come down, trap the shorts, and then have our continuation to the upside, giving us like this lower high here, all of these lower highs here that then need to get taken out, right? They'll get swept. On the other hand, let's say we do just get that smaller move down here where we do take out that low, touch the trend line, and then we have a sweep to the upside to our 17,200 zone, maybe kind of like this, and then up a little bit higher. And then we come down, take out this lower high, this lower, or these higher lows, we come down and sweep them, right? So as you can tell at this point, I'm really just looking to break out of here, get to in a more, extreme price zone, right? Where we break up above, we grab this liquidity, we come up here, we're seeing bearish divergences, a lot of Positive delta built up in here, right? A lot of trapped longs, and then, okay, execute our short. Let's look lower. Same can be said here. You know, say we get down here and we hit our zone. There's a lot of negative delta. People are shorting heavily into this, think that we're going to be going lower. Okay, cool. I'll look for the long opportunity for, at the very least, some degree of a bounce. And then again, especially here, you know, I'm going to look for a move down, find some support, bullish divergences, some degree of a setup, right? And a lot of negative delta, people shorting this low, getting trapped, and then, you know, some degree of a move to the upside, right? And you can see here I have these areas of liquidity marked out. There is also one here, and then of course lower at about 15,300. So, you know, if we get to these levels and we just, you know, we get here and we don't see that sort of move and we just continue to lose levels, then you know, we'll just look lower. The 15,300 is a zone that I've been watching for a very, very long time that I would definitely like to take a trade off of it. So, yep, these are my areas of interest. As you can see, I don't really have a lot of edge in here. You know, I am in longs from lower that I've been laddering into over time. I'm in some shorts from higher that I've been laddering into. So I'm positioned for either way. If we get this move down, my long will get stopped out, and I'll happily look for lower to re-enter my longs, and I'll let my short run. If we, you know, get this move up, then I will look to compound my short ultimately, just like what I said. So, yeah, right now these are my my three areas of interest. Let's take a look at. We'll look briefly at ETH, but then I especially want to look at LTC because I am in a trade on LTC right now. As for Ethereum, we're very much looking at a similar range, right? And it's slowly going up. The one thing that I will say is a little bit different is we do have this series of higher lows here that are looking pretty appetizing for some degree of a move down. Now, I do have two wedges drawn out here, right? I personally would favor this one here and see, you know, similarly to BTC, if we were to kind of come down and then get that move to the upside, you know, I would be looking at something similar on ETH. And we can see ETH is actually having a much nicer reaction than BTC is at this level. Where, you know, BTC comes down, ETH more than likely would just hold this level, and then they would both kind of come up here into this area, which is where then we would look to trade it back down, right? Preferably to this weekly level. Outside of the playing the wedge pattern, my next two areas of interest, you know, would be up here. Again, this one fits into our rising wedge. And then down here, I do like this sort of long-term support trend line that we have down here. We also have the 786, an untapped weekly, and an H1 order block, all kind of within this zone here. So for me, there's a lot of confluence here, and I know that there's some liquidity down here. I know we have this untapped weekly right above us right below us, I mean, at 1182. But I wouldn't like put a lot of stock into that one holding simply because we have our low here. I could just, you know, sort of see something like, you know, come down here and then, you know, then we get the real move down lower like this, right? So we'll just have to be patient and keep an eye on it. Like I said, these would be my areas of interest right now. At this point, you know, I am more interested in trading BTC, but I would definitely, preferably, I would like to short up here. I would long down here, but if I was going to long ETH, I honestly would like to see a little bit lower, personally. So let's take a look at LTC. So LTC was great. Yeah, I mean, we had our wedge here. This played out down to, the zone that I had been watching for some time. You can see we bounced right off of that green zone here, claimed the top of that support zone, and have since then just gotten to move up to our trend line here. At this point, we do have a daily fair value gap here, so when I took this trade, one of the first places I want to do was to take profit here, which I did from shorting up here. And we had gotten to that point, but I still just, not to say that we couldn't get our bounce up, but if we did, I would definitely just ladder more. I mean, if we got like a move like this, kind of, I would just more likely than not ladder into more shorts and look a little bit lower. I would prefer at the very least to fill this fair value gap, get a bounce off of this H1 order block here, or at the very least to get back down to this lower zone where we do have, an untapped weekly, the range value, the previous range value area high, right, from back over here. And if that area wasn't to hold, in kind of working in tandem with BTC, so like if we were to get this move down here to like the 16200 area, 16200 area, to me that would be like the equivalent of getting down to, this 6364 zone, right? And if BTC were to lose that level and then go to the bottom of the range, well, then I would simply look to, 57, which is another untapped weekly level to the downside. So like I said, right now I am short in this position, and I have taken profits. I'm just looking to take more at about 64.50, so $64.50 would be my next take profit zone. And in the meantime, like I said, I'm just going to wait to sort of see how this plays out. But I would, like a swing failure of this high, I would add more shorts for sure. I think that, these lows here are very ripe for the taking, right? To see maybe we get kind of a bounce or consolidation, but then to like come down here, take those lows, and then, maybe look for some degree of a move up from there. So I'll be in the Discord all week, and we are going to have our regular live stream tomorrow night at 6 p.m. EST. And like I said, I'll be in the Discord all week, so if you guys have questions on this, I'll take some time to post some charts, and I'll be sure to update these throughout the week leading into next week, as important as it is. But in the meantime, these are just kind of the levels and the setups that I'm looking for, right? LTC, swing failure of the high, or sweep these lows here. Tapping this weekly, untapped weekly level here, I think is great. Ethereum, looking to play out this wedge possibly up to here. If we don't see that, I am a little bit more hesitant on longing ETH, but if I were to, I would look for sure down here is probably where I would be most comfortable. And then with BTC again, we just kind of have our areas of interest here that that we would look to play out. I would be most eager to short here and long here. This would sort of be more of like a day trade that could maybe come into something bigger if it looks good, right? So yeah, we'll just have to take it day by day and just see how the charts play themselves out.